Let's Talk Oculus, a VR podcast, is proudly sponsored by the good folks at Patreon. If you want to support the show, join us on patreon.com/Let's Talk Oculus. What's up, Oculus nerds? Welcome back to Let's Talk Oculus, episode 187. I'm your host as always. I'm Dan. I'm joined by my co-host as always. It's Samson. Samson, it's summertime. Officially summertime. Are you ready? Actually, I don't know if it's official, but we'll just say it's official.
187, Dan. 187. There's some lyrics with those numbers, I think.
Blink 187?
No, that's 182, Dan. Jiminy Crickets. Get out of here. We can't start that. We got to restart this, Dan. That's crazy. Get out of here. No, I'm kidding.
How you doing?
Dan, I'm doing well. I had a great time at PAX East. Lovely simulcast with the Rough Talk. I've never sound better. I want one of those mics. I should just go to their place, be like, hey, I'm going to record LTO from Rough Talk Studio.
Yeah, look, they have 4 mics. They don't need all 4 every week.
Yeah.
Can
I just lease this mic? Yeah, exactly. Dude, I could listen to myself all day on that mic. It was incredible. But yeah, that was a great time. It was lovely to host you. It was so much fun. Did you have a good time, Dan?
I had a great time. Yeah, absolutely a great time. It was much better than I thought. Like I wasn't expecting. I knew like us hanging out with Squashy and such would be really fun, but I didn't expect to really like going to the PAX as well, because I knew it was stuff that I would not really be into. Because there's not much VR there at all.
It is intimidating.
Yeah, and it's massive, right? And but it was so much fun. And yeah, I think if I was most likely coming next year, definitely to go on the Thursday and Friday, probably.
Thursday and Friday are the days to go for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, it was a great time. Welcome everyone to a regular episode.
Squashy sort of pushed us out of our little comfort zone there, though. He got us
a lot of tabletops.
A lot of tabletops. We played some Bino, little soccer game, which we talked about with Rough Talk, but I'm gonna plug it there. And we played Magic, Dan. We came home with Magic cards.
That was, to be fair, that was me. I saw it and I was like, I said to Squash, I was like, I'm never ever going to play this. This is the right time. I still have my cards. They're sealed behind me. They probably will remain sealed for a very long time, to be honest. But
I gave them to my girlfriend's daughter, and she sorts them. She puts the matching, which are the land cards. Some of them match. She sorts them into piles.
Nice, yeah. That's to make good use out those Magic cards. In the end of the day, apologies to everyone listening who does play that game. It's great. It's great.
It's good art. It's great art. It
reminds me of Yu-Gi-Oh, but apparently Magic came first. So
Dan, I remember kids playing that when I was in.
Yeah, see, I never heard of it until I moved here. Until I moved to North America, to be honest. So
by the time you Pokemon was just starting,
Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh,
Magic came, and then I think Pokemon cards came, and then from there it was
and it's made a comeback.
Gates open,
potentially. Anyways, back onto the VR scene. Yeah, I would love there to be more VR there, because there wasn't much, to be honest. There was a few booths, but.
And there's a decent amount you can try, right? There's a good amount of free play VR, good amount of games you can play, over 15 or 10 to 15 of them, right?
Yeah, there's a bunch.
It's just that I'm not interested in doing that at PAX.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I did have one of my fondest memories was going to the console section, and basically in this room you could pick any random console you want, all the way from Sega CD and such, consoles that I've never
Wii U.
touched.
I've never seen a Wii U.
The Atari was there and such. Yeah, because the Wii U is just the gamepad, really. But they had a 360 there. They had a few 360s, and me and Squash got Black Ops Zombies going, and I just had a great time. It just took me straight back to, because that was 360 Zombies. That would have been in my teens, late teens, going into university almost, and so I had very peak gaming years.
Did they have nice amount of pizza grease on the controller, and you had a Mountain Dew.
They're clean. No Mountain Dew. Unfortunately, no. They're pretty good though. They're nice and clean. But it was really fun. Yeah, a lot of fun. I kind of just wish there was more VR, but then it was great to obviously hang out with you for proper. Like, I think we've obviously seen each other once before, but we only hung out for like 2 hours or so. But now, we had like a good weekend, which was great. And then seeing the Rough Talk guys, Squashy, obviously, and Mateo, obviously, speaking to him for a little bit as well. It was fun. It was definitely fun. Yeah.
Great time.
Till next year. And those of you listening and watching, if you're feeling the FOMO, you have 1 year now to plan to get to PAX East. You don't even need a pass. Just come out, hang out with us. We don't need
around Boston for sure.
Exactly. Or we'll just all go to Samson's
or Providence.
house. We'll just host everyone at Samson's house.
I don't know about that, Dan.
We'll host our fans. We'll talk. Anyway,
I mean, maybe for a party. I can't host everybody to stay with me, Dan.
There's rooms. That's crazy. Let's get into the show. We're gonna be going into quite a bit because obviously we've had the week off. There's not many news stories or anything like that. It is getting to summertime, but we're gonna get into what's on our summer backlog, what we want to try and complete or at least play over the summertime, and what we've been playing. I've been playing quite a bit, but Samson's just destroyed his what's been playing. So we'll get into that in part 2.
It's been weeks.
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks. Housekeeping, if you're not in the part of the Discord channel already, it's absolutely free. Join us. There's a link below. If you like us so much, join us on patreon.com/letstalkoculus to get the show early and just to support the show in general. I also just forgot to mention in the Discord group, there is a walkabout tournament currently happening. Samson, what week are we on? What is the next week's listings?
Dan, Season 9, Week 6. It is 20,000 Leagues easy and Holiday Hideaway hard. Get your score mode or race mode or both scores in by midnight on May 26th.
Nice. Very, very good. Also,
it's Eastern time, Dan. Midnight Eastern time.
Also, another reason to join the Discord, Synthriders' new DLC just came out. It's the 90s pack, which has just absolute rock bangers. We're talking Red Hot Chili Peppers. We're talking Soundgarden. We're talking Blur. There's a few more.
I'm a creep.
New Radiohead. We've got, a few more. It's been an excellent DLC, and they've been so kind enough to give us 3 keys to give away at the channel. In fact, they gave us 2, but Samson already bought his, so we now have we have a 3rd key. So we have three keys to give away for all of the songs in the DLC. If you want the Synthriders DLC, just there's a giveaway channel in the Discord. Just put a comment in there. Maybe put a comment of
favorite 90s song, Dan.
I would say let's keep it closer. Out of the DLC songs, what's your favorite song? Keep it relevant. Let's keep it relevant.
That's only like 5 songs. I want to know people's favorite 90s song.
You can do that too, but all I want to know is what's your favorite song out of the 5. We'll do that one, and then you can also go wild if you really want to. Basically, put a comment in the giveaway, and what we'll do is we'll draw out by next episode, and we'll announce the winners in the Discord channel, and then we'll give like I said, 3 sets of keys away. Right,
we got some comments.
We have quite a few comments to go. Most of them are on the episode 185, Lucky's Tale, where we revisited that game. Do you want to start?
I'd love to. You just want me to read. She's Borked says, this was a gem flat screen game too. It was on Game Pass with Super Lucky's Tale Edition.
Yeah,
is it still on Game Pass?
I think so. Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure it is. Nice. Yeah. That was on YouTube. I forget to mention comments. You can comment in YouTube. There's Discord. You can also write to us at letstalkoculus@gmail.com. You can DM us on Twitter and such. Many different ways. Spotify as well. You can send comments. Pow mentioned this.
We'll even take questions at PAX.
Yeah, we would.
In person.
If you come next year. Pow Pow in the Discord, he said, wow, this was a great Lucky's Tale review today. Me being me, though, I couldn't help to wonder what both of your final scores were. I'm guessing Dan rated it around 7.5 to 8 and Samson around 7 to 7.5. It's a very short game, but like you guys said, it ended just at the right time before it began feeling redundant. I love these in-depth reviews, though. Samson, what would you rate Lucky's Tale? I'm surprised we didn't actually do that. I think he's hit it spot on. I would actually give it an 8 out of 10.
Well, Dan, it's probably because I don't like to rate games.
Well, you got to.
I just like to talk about them. It's like getting grades in school. It's more about the teacher's comment, how you doing, what are your thoughts on it? Can you critically think? Then like the final score. I was never much for the grades. I'm not much for the scores here. But you seem to be really pressing me here.
Pow Pow was requested, not me. So basically, is he right? 7 to 7.5.
Gosh. Well, I don't really. The thing is, I don't really rate games, so I don't have like a bearing of where my. What do we rate like Max Mustard? I must have given it like
a 9.
Something high.
I think you gave it like a 9. I think you got to do it relative.
I'm gonna go 8.1. No,
interesting.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna go 7.9.
Pow Pow, I think he doesn't have a clue. I think he's not sure.
I want to go like mid-range 7.
Yeah, you've just all over the shop here, all over the shop.
No, that's the same. It's 7.8.
You started with 8.1, and then
but that was real off. That was real off. That didn't feel right. I was just saying something to get a sense of how it felt then, and the 8.1 right off the bat felt wrong.
I think you got to do the score also relative to what's already out there in VR sense. I think as a platformer compared to every platformers and such, sure, it's probably like more of a 6.5, I would say, or something like that. But as a VR platformer with the limited ones they have, I'd definitely give it an 8. I think it holds up today, and I think it, like you said, ended just at the right time. So yeah,
the 8 feels too high, so it needs to start with a 7 in my mind.
So I think he was right. Dan rated it around 7.5 to 8, and Samson 7 to 7.5.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, 7 feels almost too low.
Okay, we're moving on. He also said, by the way, for your next game, I suggest staying away from Vader Immortal, only because everyone has played it already. It's not a hidden gem. It's never been forgotten. It didn't slip through the cracks. Lucky's Tale fulfills all 3. That's definitely right. I'd much rather hear about a game that people may missed. Just my humble opinion. I think that's a fair comment. I think we will do Vader Immortal at some point, but probably May 4th next year. Or if we've run out of games, we'll just get to it.
I'm going to be talking about it today.
There you go.
Teaser.
Yeah. Well, anyway, next.
Well, Dan, I'm like real into the other suggestion that we'll get into later.
Go on, you read the next comment?
Yeah, I'll read the next comment from TPZ. Woo woo! So glad you guys covered Lucky's Tale. After listening to the podcast, I think I'm going to go back and do another playthrough. I wasn't even aware there's a flat screen sequel. I'm definitely going to go check that out.
Very good. And that's why we do these things, right? So you can learn more about the game. Speaking about the Revisited series real quick, if you did listen to last week's episode with the Rough Talk VR crew, I did ask them what their suggestions were. Path to the Warrior, Population 1, and One's Alliance were the 3 that was suggested. I did really like the Path to the Warrior suggestion, and Void Citizen in the Discord.
I think it's Path of the Warrior.
Path to the... Oh, yeah. I don't know why I wrote 2. I also spelled Warrior
probably an autocorrector.
I don't know what I was doing. Anyway.
It's okay, Dan.
Void Citizen on Discord, he did say he'd like to second that in terms of covering Path of the Warrior. That game is great, and I really hope they're working on a Ninja Turtles game. There is a Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge on Steam Deck and other platforms, which is basically Streets of Rage, but in Ninja Turtles form. Which is really fun to play. I die quite a lot, but really fun to play.
There's the Cowabunga collection, too. All the old arcade games.
There is, yeah. So, yeah, maybe Path of the Warrior is the next game we cover.
Yeah, and we could take that one on, I think, together, right? Co-op? That'd be something. That's a new twist on it.
Actually, yeah, we can. Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, for sure. That's a good idea. We should do that. Yeah, we should do that. We'll get some. We'll start researching. maybe episode 190. Every 5 episodes seems like a nice little spot. 180, we had 180, 185.
Whenever they feel right.
Whenever they feel real.
Whenever they fit in.
But yeah, that's all the comments. The other things in part 1 we were going to say is there any more Pax stories that you wanted to share, Samson? I know we spoke a bit about it at the start, but is there any more Pax stories that you wanted to share before we close this chapter on Pax?
You want me to start?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it was just so much fun to hang out in person, really meet you and Squashy. Like I met Squashy in person, but like you said, this is like sleepover camp, right? This is like
it's from Thursday to Sunday, right?
We were having all our meals together. It was we didn't really eat much breakfast.
We slept in the same bed. No, was that just me and Squashy in the basement?
Yeah, you two were in the basement.
Right.
I don't know what went on down there.
Right.
Yeah. I slept in the same bed as the dog.
Interesting. Yeah. I could have continued, but
she's tiny.
She is tiny. Yeah, she is tiny.
But yeah, it was just great to hang out in person. I really like sharing PAX with the girlfriend and her daughter. They came on Saturday. Got to check out the family gaming room, which is basically the console room, but game. It was just Switches and PS5s. It was mostly Astrobot and a couple Switches with different games. So that was pretty cool. Just played with like random kids and their parents for a little bit. And I feel like now I finally have a sense of how to tackle PAX and like what I want to do and have a good time in the end. And it really is Thursday, Friday. Spend those days testing any games you want to test or like playing any new games you want to play because the lines are very short.
Yeah.
And then if you want more, the Saturday, then on those days go to those rooms with the free play because those had lines, but those like you never really had to wait long. Yeah, and there was there was a whole arcade room. Too.
Yeah,
that one was really.
I played
cool
this. I played this cool Nintendo arcade. It was a really old arcade box, and it was a co-op. So me and Squashy were playing, and you're essentially like this bird. I can't remember what it's called, but you're like this bird, and you have to fly up, and you pop the other birds' balloons. It was actually quite fun. I love these arcade games.
And then you beat me in Tekken, I think, or Squashy beat me.
Squashy did. I didn't. Okay. You beat me. You beat me. You beat me. But I think we intended to play some in-person VR as well. Like all three of us bought
weather wasn't
VR headsets.
Perfect for that. Yeah.
But yeah, we could have done it inside, but I think we were just having too much fun with like standard local multiplayer. Like we played a crap ton of Crash Team Racing, some Towerfall, some random N64 games, Beanio, of course, the Flick Foot Soccer. I think we were just having too much fun with all of those. And yeah, it was one of those things that you just don't get often anymore. Like when we were kids and also, in different times. A lot of couch co-op, a lot of that going on with bringing your friends over and those kind of things where you don't really get that anymore, right? Most of it's going to be online anyway, or friends are also distant. They're like, no one kind of lives in one little neighborhood anymore, as we used to. So having that time to go, let's actually do some standard couch co-op and such was really fun because the VR stuff, like, there is some cool in-person VR, but generally you could do that online. We could do that if we wanted to.
Most of the stuff I wanted to really do in person involved being outside and needing like a lot of space. So I was once we couldn't really do that because of the rain, I was like, all right.
Yeah, we did have bad weather there for like 2 days whilst we were there. But all that to say, like it was great. I felt like I was a child again.
100%.
But in a good way. It was a great time. It was a really good time. And
like PAX is such an interesting place because you'll just normally you're out in public. You'll hear people talk about politics, or you'll hear people talk about sports teams that are playing. But at PAX, you'll just hear people talk about random video games, like all the pocket conversations. You're like, I have no idea at all what niche game you're talking about or like what world you're talking about, but it's so cool how much everybody just has so much passion there. And I will say Saturday is the day to see the most cosplay.
If you want to do that for sure, but it's very difficult to do any demos, right? It was fun wearing our t-shirts too. We had some special LTO t-shirts which were had a PAX brand on there, unofficial. That was very cool to quickly design.
Don't tell PAX.
Don't tell PAX that I didn't throw the logo on it. To be fair, I wrote PAX in a specific font, so I think that's fine.
Okay, that's good.
That was cool. That was cool to do, and having the media pass was kind of funny because all the people I spoke to were non-VR people, and lots of free Red Bull.
Marcel was happy.
Yeah, it's not for me. But great time at PAX. Obviously, most likely do it next year. And do it all over again.
Yep. Among Us, Stan, that was a good one.
Yeah, really quick with the Among Us, they had the little VR headset. To be fair, they had a Quest 3, but also most of it was flat screen, but it was playing the 3D version. I think Squashy was in the VR headset. We were on the laptops. Very foreign to me playing with a keyboard and mouse. I'm not gonna lie,
that felt natural to me.
I haven't played with a keyboard and mouse since it would have been since Halo 1 came out. That was the last time I played with a keyboard and mouse.
I just played Among Us on the PC, like just not first person, so it just like felt like playing Among Us.
It took me ages. Obviously the WASD, right? Yeah. With your controls. And you have to press E on the keyboard to like interact. It took me ages to realize how I could move my finger to E. And then I realized that all I need to do is hold like W to go forward and move the camera with my mouse. I don't have to always hit A, D, S all the time.
That's hilarious.
It took me ages to try and get my finger up to E. And I was like, it's like learning chords on a guitar. I was like, I don't know how do I get there?
Yeah, luckily Marcel my friend Marcel was there, and he had used the VR headset, but he looked confused afterwards. And then Squashy had gone in, and I guess it had been set up all backwards, where like movement was with your right hand, and it was teleporting, but turning was with your left hand. And so he changed all the settings back to what would be like.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah,
he knew what he was doing. But a great time, Samson. Moving on, we do have some very quick VR news, very, very small little things. Upload VR Summer Showcase has been announced. It will be on July 11th at 10 a.m. Oh, actually, I didn't write Pacific Eastern or anything like that. Pacific time, 10 a.m. Pacific time, July 11th. So we'll look forward to that closer to the time. And Zombie Army VR was meant to come out this week. We actually had it written in the script to mention it, but good job we have to do the podcast now because it has now been delayed till June 12th.
Look at us stand current.
Exactly. All right, topic of the show before we get into part 2 of what we've been playing is what's on our summer backlog, Samson. I think we don't do a great job of finishing games, and I'm not talking about just finishing games, but we're playing things often, and our backlog continues to grow and grow and grow, and there's no end in sight.
And a lot of the games I most enjoy don't have an end.
Yeah, that's true. So you're always playing them, which is fine. But then sometimes we're talking about current things on the show, or things that have just come out and such. But maybe there's a bunch of stuff that we've missed or just haven't had a lot of time.
Yeah,
there's a lot. So let's compress this rather than going, okay, what's on our backlog, and listing out 50 apps or something like that. Let's just say for summertime. So like from now till like
small
the
goals.
end of August. So we're talking 3 months basically. What is on your backlog? What do you want to at least play a little bit of, let alone finish it? I'll let you start, Samson.
Oh, thank you. Because I think to start is going to be on both our lists here, because I started Ghost Town and then some things have happened.
Right.
Not to bury the lead here, but I upgraded my PS5 to a PS5 Pro, and that has distracted me.
Yeah, that would distract you. That would distract you.
Ghost Town. I want to get get to that early summer for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, mine's finished Ghost Town is one of them as well. I'll talk about. I have played more, and I'll talk about it in part 2. But I'm very close. Like, I'm not gonna lie. If I wasn't doing anything last night, I would have been able to just finish the game. So it's a kind of an easy one. But I have it on the list here that I do want to finish it, which I'll probably do sooner rather than later. I'm loving that game, but we'll talk about that in part 2. Back to you.
Back to me. Speaking of the PS5 Pro, I got into No Man's Sky. Did my first 2 hours again, Dan. And I'd really just like to sink my teeth into this and get a good amount of planets under like 15 to 20 hours by the end of the summer, and just explore a lot more. It's so pretty, all these planets.
Yeah,
and I want to get to some water planets, go underwater. All this it's never looked better. And I just really want to take advantage of that.
I remember getting it when I had the PlayStation, and it was with the PSVR rather, and it was really pretty. So I can't imagine what's on the Pro. My next one is to finish Fract, because that's the game that I started and got very close to finishing and just never finished.
That's a short one, right?
Yeah, but I'm once again, just like Ghost Town, it's like if I sink another hour in it, maybe another hour and a half, I will finish it. So these are just like little things I just want to tick off, because I think my New Year's resolution was to finish 2 games, and I want to. There's so many that are close to finishing that I could just tick more off on the list. So
you zoom in past that.
Yeah, good time, Fract, though. Really good time. Just a fun. It feels old. I'm not gonna lie. It feels 2017 VR. I think it came out later than that, but it feels like that to me. It feels like PS VR 1, which it was.
That's what,
but it's fun. Yeah. But it's really fun. It still holds up to this day. I think if it came out as a brand new game this year, it wouldn't review that well. But the fact that it's a port and they've not done too much to it, it still holds up. It's a pretty good game. So yeah.
Well, Dan, Midnight Walk got a patch recently for the PSVR, fixing some resolution issues. So I'm going to be getting back into that one as well, because I played the first, I think, about hour or so, and I'm loving it.
Yeah,
absolutely loving it.
I'm tempted to get it on Steam Deck, to be honest, because it works on there, just to play it. But I'm surprised that you can do it in VR, because it looks pretty scary in VR. But like a lot of,
I've screamed a few times.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Like, even just watching the trailer, there's quite a lot of like jump scares, or just things that are just in your face and all that.
Once I die once, I get it. I'm like, okay, that's what I go
get
through.
Numb to it. Yeah. You do get numb to it. Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Another one that I want to just tick off is a Pica, or Epica. I can't remember how to pronounce that game, but that's the puzzle story game that I did start playing in January, and I did like half of it, if not just a little bit more than half. And once again, I think I just need to sink another hour, an hour and a half, and finish that one as well. So I'm not going too crazy where I'm like, okay, I want to play this. I just want to tick some boxes. Some boxes.
Slow and steady.
What else?
The next big one for me, the last big one really, is Red Matter 2. I want to do that. 2. Yeah. I feel like for the summer is when I did Red Matter 1. And Red Matter 2 PS5 Pro seems like, did it even have an upgrade for that? I'm not sure, but
I don't know.
Regardless, it'll be
It does have a Quest 3 upgrade, so maybe I don't know if they had a PS Pro update. I don't think they need it, maybe.
Exactly.
It might, but the PS5 Pro might just upscale it anyway, make it run a little bit better. Regardless, my last one, I think I want to get back into some Vacation Simulator. I played a bit of that last year and had a great time, and it is summertime, so it's a good fun one to play. And also I'll hopefully get back into Wanderer at the end of summer, but that just depends on those bug fixes that they mentioned. Like, it felt like summer was the big fixes that they were going to make. We'll see when that gets done. But there is a Quest 3 like graphics upgrade that they're planning later on the year, so I'm not sure. We'll see. I might jump into it, or if not, I'll be more of a a 4 one, but I'm just worried that, the Upload VR Summer Gaming Showcase is out soon. There'll be a VR gaming showcase in August, I believe. There's going to be some big games.
SideQuest one just happened.
The SideQuest one just happened, which we'll cover next week. And yeah, there's going to be some big games this year, but we don't know. We don't know what it is, right? Nothing's really been announced for the fall yet, and surely there's something coming. So I'm just worried that with Wanderer, if something does come, I might just forget about it a little bit, but I'm hoping not to.
I mean, I'm waiting longer time for Wanderer if I ever get into it. I feel like on that roadmap, it's like, all right, I'll see you.
I'll see you at the end of the year, at least.
After the summer, yeah, at least after the summer.
Yeah, for sure. Perfect. Yeah, that's our summer.
Well, Dan, just last thing, I want to get into more Among Us.
Yeah,
because I can finally merge my old Among Us flat crew. It looks like I got a game scheduled in a couple weeks. We'll see. I don't want to jinx it, but I'm excited for it. I am excited for it, both for the infection mode and just I have such a good time with it.
Yeah, I remember I haven't played it for a while, the VR version, obviously apart from the PAX, but I just laugh so much in it. It just makes you laugh so much. It's just so much joy. It's a great game, and great game on VR as well. Let us know, those of you listening and watching at home, or wherever you are on your commute and such, what is on your summer backlog? Like, what kind of games do you want to like try or maybe finish off? Like I'm going to also by the end of summer, but by the end of August, basically. Curious. I'm going to try, now that I'm in an apartment that has AC, I'm going to play VR during the summertime, which is normally quite foreign for me because last 3 years I've just been in a house that cooks. It's a greenhouse basically in the summer, and it was just the worst time to play VR. So we're going to play some VR in the summer. It's going to be different. Yeah. It'll be really odd, but it'll be great. All right. Samson, that will do for part 1. Part 2, we've got a lot of what we've been playing to talk about. So we'll see everyone then.
Hey, we know public lobbies in VR games can be a bit toxic, feel a bit empty at times. That's why we created the Let's Talk Oculus Discord, a friendly community that you can join for multiplayer meetups, general VR chat, the game, and chat about VR, fitness motivation, and there's even a very impressive 3D printing channel. Join over 100 of our community members in the Let's Talk Oculus Discord for free. The link is right in the description.
All right, welcome back to part 2, where we have quite a massive what we've been playing, at least on the Samsung front.
Huge.
I played 2 games, but I always like to yap for a while on them. But Samsung, let you start.
You go into more detail. Yeah.
What do you want to talk about first?
Dan, I got Beatable, which is a rhythm game. I love me some rhythm games. Beatable's a hand-tracked rhythm game. Mm-hmm. And you're meant to play it on a table, which is where I played it.
Oh, it's the tapping
and,
one,
yeah,
right?
you beat the table. And it kind of plays like Guitar Hero, where the beats are coming at you, and you've got to either tap them or slide across some of them, because the beats will slide, if you will, slide to the left. And there's a few other motions. I think this snap and, oh gosh, I forget the other. But Dan, oh gosh, I have to cough. Hold on 1 second.
Fair enough. This is why you always have water by your side, for everyone listening at home.
Yeah, so you can snap both fingers at the same time to go from mixed reality to VR, which is just a really cool effect and feels really cool to do. I recognize none of the music. I played a couple. I didn't play all the tracks yet. I played 3 of them. Mm-hmm. And it might, I'm not sure. I got to look into custom tracks. That might be in the future. It seems pretty early. It's a cool game, Dan. You're not going to be like, oh, I want to play Beatable all the time.
Is it a bit annoying?
Too much beating.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Like, is it a bit annoying hitting the actual surface over and over again?
You don't like slam it, Dan.
I feel like I would. I feel like I'm a slammer.
Apparently, you can play it not on a surface too. I think somebody was saying that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, on your laps.
I just did I just did light taps, Dan.
Fair. I think I would be slamming.
It's not too hard.
Yeah, fair
it's self-control. Just a little self-control, not to beat too hard.
Roger. Yeah. What else have you been playing?
I played all 3 Vader Immortals finally.
Nice.
Because I had played through the first 2 several times. I'd never played through part 3. I realized.
Me neither.
I thought I had, but yeah.
I've only done the dojo in part 3, but for some reason I think I did similar to what you were about to say, where we went through first game, I went through second game, had a great time, then I went to third game, and I was a bit tired from the actual game, so I was like, I'll just do the dojo for a little bit, and I never got into it. And just never got into the third game. So I know there's a Vader fight in the third game. I've not done it, which is crazy.
So spoiler alert: the Vader fight is awesome. But it is a bit staged, right? But it still feels really cool to fight Vader.
Right.
I love it. We need more of this. We need more Star Wars stories. We need more just new stories about anything. These VR stories are incredible, where you don't really need much interaction. Like, no. I honestly, I felt like there was enough in these. I feel like they were grilled for not having enough, but that's because people in their Star Wars want more.
It was a packing game as well.
It's a great story.
I think it's a great story. Yeah, it's really fun. And it looks pretty good in there. When Vader comes at you for the first time in episode 1, you're like, whoa, he's massive and it's intimidating and such. And yeah, I think it's great. I think there's a great trilogy of games.
100%. Recommend Vader Immortal. All 3.
Yeah.
Maestro DLC. Got into some Maestro DLC. Great stuff.
Which DLC do you remember?
Well, the newest DLC has the Game of Thrones song.
Oh,
so
that
the main
one,
theme.
And the Lord of the Rings one, yeah.
The Lord of the Rings. And
did you try the new map for it? Like, did you try the new?
Well, I tried definitely the Doom map, I believe, and one of the others. They're pretty cool.
The one where they're all skeletons. Also, no, they're not skeletons.
Oh gosh,
the skeleton behind you.
They were definitely something weird. I'm not sure I was the biggest of fans. I kind of just like people.
So, did you get scared by the skeleton behind you at all?
Nothing scared me. I'm not sure I looked behind me. I'll be honest.
I always, when I do the Maestro, I always look to the crowd first and just like salute the crowd, be like, whatever. But there's a skeleton right there and he jumps at you. He's like just there chilling, and then he just like, as you're like saying hello to the crowd, he all of a sudden jumps at you and such. And I'm like, whoa. Yeah, I don't think he does it again, but that scared the hell out of me.
It's a jump
scare, out of nowhere. So yeah, you must have not done it, because I think you'd be talking about it if you did.
Yeah, I mean, if it scared me, I would have remembered. Yeah. I did love the Game of Thrones main theme. This game just feels good. I still need to play on like too easy of a level where it's not like too complicated right now. But I know once you reach those higher levels, much like Synthriders, you're moving both hands at the same time. You feel like you're really orchestrating an orchestra.
I think you'll be able to do the Game of Thrones on medium, no problem, because it's such a short.
Yeah, I think that's what I did, medium. But I'm gonna do.
But Lord of the Rings is quite difficult with medium. I'm not gonna lie. Well, at least for me, it was. But I haven't played too much. But it's a great time. And there's a new DLC that just got announced. I forgot to put in the news. Star Wars. And your little baton is going to be a little tiny lightsaber.
So this was the first time I played, speaking of batons, with a pencil. And that felt good. I liked it.
Felt good, right? Yeah, it works. It works well. It's not perfect, but it works well. For sure.
You wanna go, Dan?
Well, let's quickly talk about the Synthriders DLC.
Yes.
We're having a great time in it so far. I mean, the only thing, not disappointing, but I'd love to see, is like a feature song with like the graphics like they do for some of the artist ones. But obviously this is being a 90s pack. It's not like an artist specific one. They've not done that. So it's just the 5 songs I think there is. And
something like that.
Yeah. And yeah,
I think great.
They're really fun. The ones that surprised me was like Radiohead Creep and the Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden really surprised me, because they're like slower songs, and I didn't think when I saw the trailer, I didn't think they'd work so well. I was like, oh, there's a ton more Soundgarden songs you could have picked from, and same with Radiohead. That was a bit more lively, but they picked those songs. But yeah, they're really good. But I think what really said to me was they give it away from Red Hot Chili Peppers was my favorite, and I really hope there was a Red Hot Chili Peppers pack in the future, because one, I'd love to see the feature song with their own kind of like music video. I think that'd be so much fun. And also I think they have a lot of just fun like dance songs, to be honest, or songs that will work well in Synthriders rather. So yeah, I think that's one of my biggest takeaways. Like, I'd love a Red Hot Chili Peppers pack.
It was great. I loved it. I've been playing the hell out of it. Creep is definitely my favorite of the group. Lump's close. Lump's great. Yeah, that if I love them all. I like these. If you had a playlist of mine on my old iPod, it probably had all these songs on it, right? Like,
it's also our era, right? As when we were growing up, like these were some of the biggest songs. So
I've listened to all these songs a lot, and there is a Red Hot Chili Peppers Snow, I think, is in Smash Drums, also great. So I agree. I think more Chili Peppers, great idea, Dan.
More Chili Peppers. Samson, to round it off, why don't you speak about Trombone Champ, since we're talking about all the music games, rhythm games at the moment.
All right. Well, I did get into more Smash Drums. I played some more mixed reality Smash Drums, so I guess I'll plug that one a bit more too.
Yeah,
that one actually has a PSVR 2, PSVR Pro update, but I don't have it on there yet. $55 for all the songs is a steep price. I guess I could just get the bass just to try it out. I don't know. Anyway, moving right along. Trombone Champ, Dan. I'm not sure you're aware.
Have you got the toots yet?
I've got a rival. No, I'm about to hit like
I'm asking this every time
or something.
Every time you mention Trombone Champ.
I need more than 10 times what I have right now.
Well, get to work.
I've been playing a lot of Trombone Champ actually at work. A lot of breaks. And it's great. You can play a song in under 5 minutes. But yeah, I've got a rival. His name is Pow Pow. Gilman, though. Gilman is he's got a speed on at least one track, maybe a couple more. And it's been so much fun to just go back and forth. Honestly, though, some of the tracks we're at the point where the ones that were like ahead of each other were like top 20, really. So it's pretty tough to eclipse at some point here. But I'm loving the hell out of Trombone Champ.
Very good. Let's go from the rhythm games to the ghost games, Samson. Let's talk a little bit about Ghost Town. Did you play much Ghost Town at all? Did you get to it at all, or are you still in the same little area that you're in?
I definitely got to it a little bit, but before PAX. So it's been a minute. I played this when coming back from... Well, actually just played it on last weekend, to be honest. Really enjoying it. I played another hour or so for it. And for those of you who have played the game, I'm at the point where you're in St. Mary's, which is a abandoned warehouse, abandoned tube station. I wrote warehouse on the script for some reason, but it's abandoned tube station. Samson's covering his ears. There's no spoilers here, Samson. There's no spoilers. Okay. I'm not going to give you any specific spoilers here. Okay. I'll talk about a few fun things, but no like story spoilers or anything like that. But yeah, I'm in the abandoned tube station, and it's really cool to go in there because I said this before when we spoke about Ghost Town, but they do really well with matching the actual architecture of London, and the tube station feels so much like the tube station. And it's mind the
great.
Gap? Did you mind the gap?
There was a Mind the Gap. There was Cockfosters on the board, which is where you were going. Yeah, it looked great. Really cool. But without getting too much into it, I just want to mention the creepy ass house that you go into. So where I last left the game, you were about to go into the Weaver residence. which is basically a guy who's dating your mother at the moment. It's kind of a creepy guy because he has a really creepy house, and we'll get into that in a second.
Everything's
but first of
creepy.
all, one really cool thing that happens is when you start in the driveway, and as you're walking towards the house, your character says, "Oh, this really reminds me of her brother." And the whole idea of this game is that your brother is lost to the ghosts, and you're basically getting to a point where you're trying to find him and get him. That's not spoiler. That's what the story is. But as you're walking towards the house and she says that, all of a sudden the atmosphere turns like dark, and it says 1 year later, 1 year before or something. And then the brother pops up, and all of a sudden you're in a flashback, and you're playing the flashback. And then later on, you'll finally go back to where you were when you started the mission, which was just a really cool effect the way they did it. But you break into the house and you go into the main room of this house, and basically this Mr. Weaver, whoever he is, he has a little museum in his house, which has a ton of haunted artifacts. And this game doesn't have many interactable objects. It kind of lets you interact with what you need to interact, and that's it. But this was cool because almost everything in there was interactable. So like you had like a hand which will flame up when you get close, for example. There's a mask as well that always looking at you, but as you're getting closer to the mask, it closes. There's a treasure chest that jumps up and down and is making noises. And by the way, next to these, there's little plaques next to each artifact, like you would be in a museum. But sometimes there's letters as well. So you pick up the letter and you see what Weavers kind of wrote about this specific artifact. And the treasure chest, if you read the letter, it said, a demon once possessed. Basically, it's a demon that was once possessed a 6-year-old girl, and it's locked up in this box. And he's been trying to open the box, but he's not been able to open it. I don't think you can actually open that box, but as soon as I read that, I was like, we'll just leave the box. We'll leave the box. We don't need to open this box. I don't know why you're trying to open this box, but we'll just leave the box. There's also a funky mirror that has like really weird noises coming out of it, and as you get close, it feels like something's going to jump at you, but nothing actually does. But it's very creepy. I was like, I don't know why he's got this in his house. This is very very scary. There's a ton more letters around. There's a bunch of other stuff. There's like a teleportation thing. There's a canvas that when you look at the canvas, it draws a portrait of you, which is really cool. But yeah, it's like a big long living room in a way, but really really cool little aspect of the game. And then you go in and there's a whole like puzzle that you need to do with your brother and such, and then you get back to the main story of the game. But that was a really cool effect, a really well polished game, and I love the fact that you could interact with that. Also, I just want to mention that the game's gotten really, really creepy now. There's still no jump scares, but as you're slowly going through the house, or if you're in the tube station that I'm currently at, it gets more and more eerie. It gets dark, and there's like flashes of potential ghosts, but in the distance. Nothing, like, once again, nothing's jumping at you. But it's getting creepy. It's getting real creepy. Like if you were to play this at night on your own in your house, you'd be a little scared. You'll be a little scared. I would definitely say that.
Or you'd be brave.
Or you'd be a little bit brave. One thing is that the puzzles are getting they're still straightforward, to be honest. I'm not finding it too difficult for the puzzles.
All right, you don't need to keep bragging.
No, but it's very enjoyable to play it just for the story more than anything. But there's some puzzles, like I'm at the tube station puzzle, and I looked at it and I was like, okay, I think this is the best time I stop now, and I'll get back to this later. But most of the time, I think the puzzles have been pretty straightforward. But that's not a knock. I'm just still enjoying it. But it's a well polished game, and I still can't recommend it highly enough. To be honest, it's creepy, but there's no jump scares to it. There was one other thing. Oh yeah, one other thing, real quick. When you finally speak to Weaver, the guy who lives at the house, he has this weird little crystal ball, and it's on either end of the table. There's a crystal ball on either end of the table, and he holds the crystal ball and he says, "Put your hand on the other crystal ball, and I'll show you what's happening." And basically, when you put your hand to it, you go into. It feels like you're in like you're in real life and then you put your hand to it and then all of a sudden now you're in VR is what it feels like. But you put your hand to it and all of a sudden you're transported to this like projection and you're seeing what happens and Weaver's explaining something cool. And all of a sudden like that. But you can lift your hand up at any time. So when you have your hand on the ball, you're inside this world. There's music playing. He's talking, whatever. If you lift your hand, you see him on the other side of the table with his eyes closed, holding that ball and still talking. But there's no music or anything. Everything's quiet and it's just a sunny day in the house. And you can just keep putting your hand off, on, off, at any time. And that was just really fun. Really hilarious, and it just shows how well the game's made and how well polished it is as well. But yeah, loving it. I could have easily finished it, and I think I'm only like an hour or so away. I had a quick look at there's no how long to beat on games like these because in the end the VR and the indie, but there's walkthroughs. And I saw one person which had like a walkthrough, no commentary, and that was just 3 hours. And I had skipped to where I just left it, and it looked like I had around an hour left. Now that's based on him obviously doing it all easily. So I'd say I'm probably like 90 minutes away if I don't get too stuck on puzzles, to be honest. But yeah,
very good.
Having a blast. But back to you. That's what I played, Synthriders and Ghost Town, to be honest, Samson. Back to you. I know you have a few more VR games, and you have the PS5 Pro VR games to discuss too.
Yeah,
so over to you.
Just a few. So Galactic Traffic Control. Gonna go to a mixed reality game here, and what this game is
this a circle, like the big circle in front of you, and you've got is it that one?
So there's 5 points in front of where you can place them anywhere. And each one is a different color, and then ships of those colors come in, and each colored ship has a different flight pattern.
Yeah, and
you have to guide the ships into their given colored base without crashing.
It's like flight control on the iPad.
Exactly,
that's basically what it is. Yeah, exactly. It's such a good. I'm glad someone's done something like this because it's such a fun idea of a game.
Very fun.
Yeah,
very fun, very quick, and it's hand tracking
too.
And there's a few different game modes. I mostly just played the standard one so far.
Yeah, that's cool. I actually didn't realize this game existed. I'm definitely going to get this also because it's in early access, so it's only a couple bucks.
Yeah, it's $4.99 right now.
Nice. $4.99. It's $3.99 Canadian on mine.
That's crazy.
Make that make sense.
It's crazy.
It's $3.99 Canadian.
What is going on? Is your money worth more now?
Maybe. That'll be fun. Maybe I should go back to Boston now and finally, after just being ripped off from everything, now I can finally, afford a burger.
That'd be loony. Mm-hmm. Anyway, get into Breachers, Dan. 5-on-5 tactical shooter. You know it. And this time we filled the lobby, and we had our 2 best players on the other team, and things were tough for my team. They were tough, but we were led by Kirk, and we had a great time nonetheless.
Nice.
Yeah, just great time. The clone is fun to use. I'm looking forward to seeing they've got a few new gadgets on the horizon. I think at least 2, maybe 3. And they just keep doing funky gun skins. And, Breachers. If you're into it, great time.
Nice. Yeah, I've heard from Squashy that you're getting really good. I
don't know about that. I'm not too good at Breachers, but we have fun. And we've started to do more things. We'll do like shotguns and pistol rounds where we just try to have, a fun, goofy time. Try to use the not like meta guns, so to say.
Yeah, fair, very fair.
Dan, speaking of Squashy, I got into a Bocce Time little tournament, and with Squashy, Pow was in it, Shoes, and I don't really remember who won. I think what we try to do is 4 teams of 2, but I got to tell you, Bocce Time was sort of struggling with that. So in the end, we did 2 teams of like 3 people each. It was a good time. It was a great time.
Nice.
Bocce Time. If you like bocce, play it, but try to keep it with 2 teams. Yeah.
I haven't played it for ages, but it's been very good.
Going into the PS5 Pro here, Dan, which is probably going to consume a good amount of my VR going forward for a bit.
Makes sense. You've now got like another powerful PC, but for PlayStation games.
It was my GPU upgrade. My buddy's developing a game, and I was telling him how I kind of think I'm going to do it because they're going to increase the price, and it sounds crazy to say, but it feels like a deal now with this GPU prices. So I was like, all right, I'm trading in my PS5 and I'm going to get it. And my buddy who I was talking to did the exact same thing I did this week. He joined GameStop Pro member. He traded it in there and bought the Pro. Perfect. And it's definitely powerful. It's just a matter of whether or not the devs take advantage of it, which in Subside and No Man's Sky, as previously mentioned, they have with eye-tracked foveated rendering. And oh my god, Dan, Subside, I'm hooked again. I just got the 2-hour mark. I got that achievement in there. I just unlocked the whale and the shark little rooms. I actually had not done the whale one before. I could never find the last whale, but lo and behold, on the PlayStation, I have found it.
Remind me, what do you do in Subside? Because that's just PlayStation and Steam, I think.
Yeah, Subside is a swimming game. It's a free diving simulator, so you are swimming in various regions.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
The first one's sort of a small training area, then a sort of more of a shoreline on a cliff, and then there's more of a canyon, more of a
the graphics?
River.
So they're like Kayak VR.
Stunning. Yeah.
Stunning. Yeah.
Stunning. I think Kayak VR might be a little bit better, but they're both like at that point you're like, there's no point in like picking which one.
Yeah, they're just good enough. It's great.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I feel like I'm swimming, and I just unlocked the jetpacks, and I'm scooting around, and I just love looking for coins, looking for everything, unlocking everything. And then once I've gotten all that, I can just really enjoy the swimming. I did one night mode, and there's lightning that goes. And honestly, it was a little distracting down below. I was like, what? What's that flash? Yeah. What's that flash?
That must look so good. Yeah, it must look so good.
It looks... I could just be in Subside for obviously for hours.
What does now Gran Turismo 7 always looks good in general? What does that look on the PS5 Pro?
Yeah, so I did get into some GT7. No more reprojection on the tires and the fans. That's the main thing I noticed when people would drive past me on the base PS5. Their tires would look really like there'd be a lot of them, right? A lot of reprojection.
Right.
Whereas now it just looks, everything's real smooth, buttery smooth. Mm-hmm. The lighting though, Dan, oh my God, in this game, when you drive like through a tunnel and maybe it's nighttime and there's a car behind you and the headlights are like, as they're moving behind you or moving in your car, that game is mind-blowingly real at times.
That's crazy. Yeah. Nice.
And pretty wild.
Well, I know it's going to be a year now, but with next year's PAX, I'm going to have to try these.
For sure. The PS5 Pro will hopefully still be relevant.
Yeah.
Speaking of Kayak VR, I did get back into that because I had to try it. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
but man, kayaking is tough. I think I finally figured out that I can just kind of keep my hands kind of close and move them like this. Mm-hmm. And it's something about the Subside is just way easier to just swim. Yeah. Oh, also Subside, the haptics in the controller feel like you're pulling your hands through water.
Cool! That's really
wild.
Cool. That's really cool. Wild. That's really cool. That adds so much depth to it.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
They really take advantage of the haptics there. But back to Kayak VR. Apparently, they added some things because I ran across a turtle. And it said, bring me to the open ocean for a reward. And so I just slapped him with my paddle into the open ocean. And he gave me like 100 miles or something. Like, that's their like credit to unlock things in Kayak VR. So apparently there's things to maybe look for. I might have to give it a whirl.
Nice. Yeah.
And then
gone.
Last but not least, Dan, I got back into Hitman VR, and as much as I love Hitman VR, I'm not good. It's a game I'm not good at it. So I'm like constantly saving and having to load because I'm trying to fight my way through and just like get the mission.
So
right?
when you're getting detected,
I get detected, I restart.
Basically?
Yeah,
I
get detected, I restart. Yeah,
I would probably do the same, to be honest. I think I would always want to try and play that clean, and if I don't, then I have to start again.
And I'm like discovering like cool. So for example, I'm in the middle of I forget what it's called, but it's like the 4th mission. And there's some sort of civil unrest going on, right? Mm-hmm. And I posed as a cameraman for this interview with this politician guy. That's how I got into the building. Mm-hmm. Then I posed as like, I think I cop, but I didn't need to end up being the cop. So, whoops. But then I killed the masseuse, and I was the masseuse. And then I went to go give the guy his massage. While I'm giving the guy the massage, that's when I killed him. I was like, oh, that felt like a good Hitman move. That one was awesome.
That is a great, yeah.
So then
you killed the masseuse, you took his clothes.
Yeah.
And you posed as a masseuse. Oh, cool. Yeah, very cool.
After posing as a cameraman to get into the building.
Right.
Yeah. So now I've got like each level usually has 2 like people you got to get so far. So now I paused it halfway through. I've got to go to the other side to get the other guy. But I hopped into Hitman 3 just briefly on the Pro just to see the Dubai lighting. Whew. It looked pretty good, Dan.
Yeah.
It looked pretty good. But I'm playing them in order, so I went back.
Was the Dubai one at night, I'm assuming?
No, it was daytime, but it was like almost like must be like a mid-morning or maybe a late afternoon. Like as you walk up these stairs, the sun comes through.
Amazing.
It was pretty incredible. Yeah,
it's a real shame that
Hitman is very good.
It's a real shame that the PS5, the PSVR, 2, has not really hit the mark in terms of like mass appeal. Because this would be so perfect for just regular flat screen players to get this headset and such. So
it finally feels like
it's not worth it.
Like, I'm like, wow, it's finally next gen. It's taking advantage of eye tracked foveated rendering. Right. Like that's what I mean. That's probably what Quest 4 will do, right?
Yeah.
We'll probably get up the eye track finally.
Do you think they'll make another one? I don't know if they'll ever make
PlayStation?
Another one. Yeah, after this.
I mean, this one will go for. I mean, the last one lasted like 7 years.
That's true.
There's not going to be another one, certainly until PS6, I'd say.
Yeah, at least, and then they'll probably support it like they did with the PlayStation VR one that supported from PlayStation 5. They had an adapter and such. Yeah. Anywho. So you're having a great time with the PS5 Pro, and we're going to hear a lot more about it throughout the year.
For sure.
That's it. What would you play much games on Steam moving forward, or is it just
Dan,
if you had to choose?
I'm so divided between everything. Dan,
I
even forgot. Speaking of, I got into Ancient Dungeon on Steam. I did a little Ancient Dungeon run.
Nice.
And we were successful. There's been a lot of updates, so now there's a lot of different dungeon floors you can go to, and a lot more insight. If you've played, you know what that is. It's sort of like things to expand your character, so to say, in the lore. Very good. Ancient Dungeon, shout out to that one. That's also great.
Well, is there any other games?
That's it, Dan. That's it.
Are you sure?
I'm never sure, but that's it. I'll shut it off.
Right. That will do for this mega part 2. Part 3 will round off the show with the games out this week. Oh, sounds another one? No.
Okay. No, I'm just playing.
We'll see you in part 3. Let's Talk Oculus is available on all good podcast platforms and some rubbish ones as well. If you want to see the video version, it's available on YouTube and Spotify. And also, if you love us so much, then consider throwing us $1 at patreon.com/Let's Talk Oculus. back to the show. All right, welcome back to part 3 games out this week. Samson, we had 2 games out this week, not 3. We did have 3 until last second. Army VR got delayed. Before I get into them, I just want to quickly mention the Quest Store. We've gone through the Quest Store. We've realized how bad it is. Everyone's saying how bad it is. I just want to mention how it's gotten a bit worse. Normally, when I'd go and do this at script and add the different games out this week, I'd head over to the store on the computer. I'd click the coming soon option, which is nice. It has a filter for coming soon now. That's a plus. And then what I do is I see all the games, and sometimes there's a ton, or anything that's been announced, like the Star Wars pod racing game that's going to be out at some point. It's there, but normally it will say the date. It will say either coming soon or summer or literally May 24th or whatever.
They're keeping it close to the chest, Dan.
Well, now when you go through the list of all the games, it does not tell you any date unless you click on it. So you have to click onto each individual one. And now there's so many in there that I know for a fact that aren't coming out while. I have to just go to Upload VR and find their beautiful article that they put out once a month with all the release dates, which is not up to date because, delays could happen and such, but it's the next best thing. So if any of these 2 games have been delayed, I apologize. I tried to look for them. I'm pretty sure they're still coming out this week, but I apologize. Yeah. It's a big FFS is what it is with this store, I'll tell you now. All right, first game, Quantum Threshold. This one actually looks really cool. In a dystopian cyberpunk hellscape ruled by rogue AI techno-wraiths. I have no idea what I just said there. You are underdog. You're a wheelchair-bound war machine, rewriting the rules of survival. Quantum Threshold thrusts you into the relentless, ever-shifting arenas where every run is a fight, upgrades, dominance, and escape. Built from the ground up for seeded VR, this isn't just accessibility, it's a revolution in motion. Command a weaponized wheelchair engineered for seeded VR chaos, drift through gunfire, deploy turrets mid-roll, turn limitations into something, I don't know what it's saying, no standing, no motion sickness, just pure unapologetic combat. So this looks way more fun than the Nintendo Switch wheelchair game that they...
Is that how you're moving around? You're moving your wheelchair?
Yeah. It seems like it.
No. I mean, it looks like somebody's dual wielding, but I can't tell. Maybe they're only dual wielding when they're stopped moving.
There's one screenshot where they have 4 guns at a time. So,
that's wild.
So yeah, I don't know how you move. I've not played this game, but
I'm intrigued.
It's coming this week. It actually looks really fun. I'm intrigued to see the reviews as well, for sure. But it looks really fun. Yeah, it could be like one of those. What's the game that you're on the kayak? Is it Phantom Covert Ops?
Yeah.
It could be similar to that.
This looks way more action, though.
This does look way more action, yeah. But it could feel a little bit similar to that and such. But yeah, it seems like you have to stop each time you shoot. But hey, in Resident Evil games back in the day, that you have to do the same thing.
Yeah, bring back tank controls.
Exactly. So yeah, I might pick this one up. Unless they absolutely review bombs, I might pick this one up.
There's a pre-order sale.
There is a pre-order sale for 10% off or something like that. So yeah. But yeah, that's Quantum Threshold. Any thoughts on this? Do you think this is one that you might want to pick up?
I mean, it looks cool for sure.
It does look cool. All right, next game.
Neolithic Dawn. Welcome to Neolithic Dawn, the ultimate VR survival experience. Step into the shoes of Neolithic hunter, gatherer, and struggle to survive in a harsh and unforgiving world. Discover an ancient Ice Age civilization, craft physics-based tools and weapons, hunt wild animals for food, and tame Ice Age creatures to help you survive on your journey. If you die in Neolithic Dawn, you come back as your son or daughter a generation later to a version of the world that has been permanently altered by time. Experience a real-time, day-night cycle dynamic seasons, and generational changes as you explore 5 large open-world maps, each with its own unique dungeon to explore. Neolithic Dawn is built by a small team with a big dream. By launching in early access, we hope to finish building the game alongside the community, so we can build the greatest VR survival game together.
Yeah, it's a full co-op game, this one. I didn't realize it was early access. It doesn't say anything like that on the store. But alas,
you got to click through Android to get to that.
I guess so. Oh, why doesn't it just tell you these things?
That's okay. It sounds interesting. I'm not into survival games, Dan, but
me neither.
The thing where the generation thing, that's kind of a cool take.
Yeah, it does look pretty decent if you're into those type of games, to be honest. In the trailer, he's patting a wolf and really aggressively, and it's kind of funny. But it's a game not for me either, for sure. But I can see some people being into this, especially if you're just into survival games in general. Samson, that's everything. That's our show right there.
And it's on Steam too.
Yeah. Obviously, so we have the side quest actually had a little bit of an indie showcase that I didn't actually realize was happening, but like a lot in that showcase. It's quite jam-packed. We've not had time, obviously, to get into it today, but we will cover that next week, so we'll get into that. I'm assuming that's where Maestro Star Wars DLC got announced.
I believe so.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because I saw that, but then I didn't see anything else. But I just skipped through, and I was like, oh, it's actually jam-packed, and I kind of need to watch all this and kind of write down what I want to go through and all that stuff. So we can talk about that next week. But for now, that is our show. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Obviously, as mentioned at the top of the show, join our Discord if you haven't already. Throw us $1 at Patreon if you want to support the show. Remember that Synthriders giveaway that you can enter. Let me know a song that you like. Samson wants any song. I want in that 5.
No, not any song, Dan. Don't be crazy. It says from the 90s.
From the 90s, that's fair. But yeah, that's our show. Thanks everyone for listening. Thanks everyone for watching. I've been Dan, he's been Samson, and we will see you next week.